Chapter 14, Overcooked. Not long after the wrap party, Vivian comes over to your place so you can watch Taste of the World on Foodflix. I can't look. I need something to calm my nerves. Do you have anything I can knit? Vivian, don't worry. This is our launch pad to fame. I'm calling it now. Shows everywhere are gonna want to hire you as their set designer. Or better yet, you'll get your own show. Oh, don't jinx it, Lucy. You take a deep breath and then press play. You've seen him lose his cool. Home cooking is real cooking. Sure, that's something a fake cook would say. You've seen his passion for food. See that glaze? It's the most beautiful thing in the world. But you've never seen him like this before. Coming home again. Never thought I would. Join us as we travel the globe on Everett Flink's Taste of the World. Your phone pings, a message from Zara pops up on the screen. Sorry, Vivian. You can finish the episode without me. Looks like Zara wants to meet. Oh, it's getting good. It's B-roll of Everett cooking and explaining what he did on his year off. I think that's something I could ask him about. Enjoy seeing your face on TV, though. I'll try. Hope Zara doesn't want anything that's gonna cause trouble. She always does. You rush to the studio office, a sense of trepidation already filling you. When you crack open the door to Zara's office, you see her clicking rapidly on her keyboard, looking back and forth between two monitors at high speed. Hi, Zara. Is something wrong? Not yet. Have a seat. She clasps her hands together and leans forward. The good news is we're trending on socials and the critics love us. We've gotten us 97 on Rotten Eggs, last I checked. Your performance on the show led to rave reviews. That's amazing. But the reception isn't quite strong enough for us to get to season 2. The network is still on the fence. Not to worry, I have a plan. Everett accepted Anton's offer to compete against him in Paris, right? He points a finger at you. If Everett's involved in another scandal on Anton's show, we'll draw in the public interest we need. You mean you want another meltdown? Argument, meltdown, tomato, tomato. Call it what you want as long as it's chaos. And seeing as you're so close to our dear Everett, you're the perfect person to deliver. No. I'm done sabotaging Everett. He decided to go on the show to bury the hatchet, not to reopen old wounds. You don't have any vision. People want conflict. We should give it to them. But this is personal for Everett. Zara scoffs. He's going on for the press, Lucy. Don't be naive. You cross your arms defiantly. If you want to sabotage him, you're gonna have to do it yourself. You really want to stand in the way of our show like this? Who cares about the show? This is Everett's life. He's come so far. If we tried to rile him up now, it would destroy him. This is his chance to rehabilitate his image and move on. Don't you care about him at all? Zara looks at you coldly. So this is your response? I'm sorry, Zara, but I'm not doing this. She laughs humorously, then gets up to retrieve some forms from her desk. I had a hunch you'd act this way. Well, since you refuse to follow instructions, I have no more use for you here. You're fired. What? I took a chance on you during our very first episode in the old diner and saw your collaboration through the whole season. Zara thrusts the paper in your hands. This ends our contract. Take them and go. You can barely hear the rushing blood in your ears, looking frantically between Zara and the papers. Zara, wait. You never were a team player. I needed someone who could be my right hand, and all you've done is fight me every step of the way. But what about all the ways I've helped the show? I know I was new to all this, but I worked really hard and I got the results. I helped revamp the menus, got through the restaurant owners, manage Everett's emotions. That's not nothing. And we're coming down to the wire, and if you won't go all in, you're gone. So that's it. Because I dared to say no, Laura's eyes are on you. Don't say anything you'll regret now, Lucy. After everything she's put me through this season, I have to speak out. If only so she doesn't try to pull the same thing on another inexperienced producer. Time and choice. I doubt it will mean much in terms of an actual choice, but something within you snaps, incensed you get to your feet. No, all season I've taken direction from you, listened to you as you tried to provoke and bring down Everett, listened to you as you tried to pass off sabotage for quality, not anymore. I think very carefully about what you want to say next, Lucy Adams. No, don't worry, I will. Let's start at the beginning. I know you had doubts about hiring me, but I worked hard and proved that I belonged here. Let's face it. All of my effort went into saving the restaurants. I took initiative in working with the owners. I went above and beyond basic research. I got to know them and what they needed. You, on the other hand, didn't care about anything about helping those businesses as long as you got the footage you needed. My job is to prioritize the show, something you've misunderstood time and time again. My point is that I delivered, helped those restaurants back on their feet. She sits back in her chair, starting to become visibly flustered. What do you want me to do? Give you a round of applause? Organize your send-off party? I have a better idea. Let's talk about your philosophy on the show. You've always operated through cheap tricks. Drama would catapult this show to success, but you're wrong. It takes is compelling storylines, us actually caring about the food, the people, and doing good. How nauseating. We're in the business of entertainment, not feelings. Then maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for all this business after all. I'm just sorry that the industry has made you so cynical. I know you think you're doing the best thing for the show and your job, and I respect how hard you've worked to get here. You must have gone through a hell of a lot to get where you are now. You don't know anything about what I've had to do. Well, let me guess. Does it involve throwing at least one person who trusted you to the wolves? Because if so, I think I do have a pretty good idea. Zara gets her feet triggered and on full alert. Enough, we're done here. Oh, have I touched a sensitive spot? Do me a favor, take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, is this really who you are? Do you care about other people other than yourself? Or don't you? You step forward, hoping to get through to her. Instead of tearing people down, why do you champion them? Zara hesitates, a question in her eyes. Then her gaze hardens, her voice wavering as she points a shaky finger towards the door. Don't make me call security. I've terminated your contract, and the smart thing to do would be to accept it. You're right, it's time for me to leave this godforsaken place. I should make a classy exit. Break the terrarium on her desk. That's not fair to the terrarium. Good luck with the rest of the show, Zara. I'm out. I'm not going to compromise myself or my values for a job. That's your choice. Now, by all means, run back to that little diner of yours. You clench your fist undeterred. You have no idea how far I'll go. So watch me. You think you see a small glimmer of fear, perhaps respect, reflected in her eyes. Okay, you said your piece. Get out. Gladly. Holding your head high, you strut towards the doorway, slamming it shut behind you. You flee from Zara's office, dipping into an adjoining room to catch your breath. Despite your brave face, you realize you've run out of steam. I can't believe this is happening. Slump against the wall, sliding down to the floor, trying to fight off the stinging in your eyes. Then you hear the door open with a gentle crack. Lucy, I heard yelling. She takes in your dismissal expression from with alarm and kneels down on the floor in front of you. Hey. Zara fired me. Trying to keep your voice steady, you relay everything what happened. Julia places a comforting hand on your shoulder. I'm so sorry, Lucy. We're gonna fix this. How? She goes quiet, and you glance up at her. She's watching you with sad expressions. Let's just get you home, yeah? She helps you to your feet, leads you out of the office, and shielding you from curious staffers. When you're settled in her car, she carefully pulls away from the lot and onto the freeway. After a few minutes of silence, she speaks up. I know you're hurting, Lucy, and this came out of nowhere, but you're gonna bounce back from this stronger than ever. Maybe this is for the best. I always had doubts about what Zara was asking me to do. At least this way I'm free. Exactly. I know you don't want me to say, look on the bright side, but sometimes that's all we can do. She'll realize she made a mistake and hire you back. She just needs a minute to cool off is all. That's easy for you to say. You still have a job. She briefly looks away from the road. I do, right now, but I've had the door shut in my face before. You know that. All I'm saying is that you can't let this eat you up. You gotta remember, this is not your fault. She put you on an impossible position. You sigh, sinking lower in the passenger seat. It's just hard, because this was supposed to be my big break. Before, my only worry was if we were going to get a second season. Not that I'd be able to make a livelihood. You stood up for someone you care for. You shouldn't regret anything. And in any case, people know you and respect your work, even if you don't have a future with the show. You still have a future. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'll land on my feet. Thanks, Julia. After a few minutes of silence, as you drive down the road, she glances over at you. I totally understand if you want some privacy this evening, but if you want help taking your mind off things, you're welcome to hang out at my place. Yeah? We can order in food, binge watch movies, whatever you want. That sounds nice, but I don't want to intrude. I care about you. Your happiness is mine too. Besides, I don't like being alone when I'm going through a rough time either. She reaches for your hand across the armrest. My offer stands. What do you think? Been a comforting evening with Julia. I'm in. Great. Operation Cheer Up Lucy is a go. The name could use some improvement. Hey, you smile. I count that as a win. Before long, you arrive at her downtown apartment. She's managed to make it colorful, cozy, and immediately you feel at ease. This place has you written all over it. What gives you that impression? The mismatched furniture? The fact that it feels so welcoming is the best compliment. That's you hungry? I have snacks, or we could whip something up. She gestures at the cookie jar on the counter and towards the fridge. Or we could order something. There's an incredible Szechuan place nearby. That all sounds delicious. We have cookies, Szechuan, nachos. I'm gonna go with takeout. I've been craving Dan noodles lately. Now you're speaking my language. One sec. Julia calls in an order. It doesn't take long for the food to arrive. Once she unpacks it, your mouth begins to water. You settle on the couch overlooking the city as Julia divvies up the food on your plates. Spicy, savory noodles fulfill all your desires. I can't remember the last time I had a night in like this. Too busy working or too busy partying? You know the answer. This is nice. Always helped me feel better when I was down anyway. You smile at her, taking a big bite of your food. I can confirm this is helping. I'm already forgetting whatever happened today. Then this is going as planned, and I'll even let you pick the movie. So generous. You turn on the TV to browse through what's streaming. We have The Warmest Winter, a holiday rom-com. A spy action movie called Double Agent with Chadley in it. Or a periodic drama thriller called Rosethorn Park. Really? We have nothing sci-fi on? Fine, we'll go spy action movie. Sometimes a mindless action movie with a bit of flair is exactly what you need. Not to mention the glamour, traveling the world, a new plane every day. Ugh, sounds a little too familiar. Too late, I'm already invested. You both laugh as she presses play. You feel your tension start to release as you escape within the movie, all while stuffing yourself full of food. When the lead character dons a laughable bad wig and round sunglasses to go undercover, Julia glances sideways at you. How are you feeling? Better. I'm scheduling my existential crisis for the morning. It'll all work out in the end, Lucy. Maybe even lead you to something better. I hope so. What would you do next, now that you're not limited by the show? That's a nice way to put it, but let's see. Maybe I'll change my name, start a new life, go work for another restaurant, start a cooking vlog. I could get some tips from Vivian. If enough people recognize me from the show, it might do well. And you'll get more experience in front of the camera. Exactly. I'd be my own boss. I could have a recipe testing series, recreate dishes by request. It wouldn't be so bad, I think. It also is a lot of work going solo, but if anyone can pull it off, it's you. I do want to finish my cookbook eventually. I already have a lot of good material. You just need to believe in yourself enough to finish it. Pretty much. You sigh, your smile fading away. But if I had a choice, you know I'd stay with the show. What about you? If you didn't have the show, what would you do? Maybe I'd get back into the restaurant business. Yeah, you're sure? If you're taking the leap, then I should too. Besides, you've helped push me to stop thinking about making it happen and actually start. That's the hardest part, but once you've got the ball rolling, you're golden. I've seen what you do on the show. You could make any restaurant work. Well, let's hope so, but tonight's not about me. I want to make you feel better tonight. Before long, the movie's over and you can't hold back your yawns any longer. I feel like I could pass out. You look it too. You can crash here if you want. I mean, do we have a committed relationship list I checked with Everett? No, so we're kind of still like a freelance player. I'll stay with you. Her smile is so warm you can't help but smile back. Great. I have a weighted blanket. You're gonna love it. I've actually never had one of those. As you laugh, she beckons you to follow her down the hall to her bedroom. I didn't know you were so into candles, but I like it. She chuckles. Pick a side. You sink down on the bed, testing out the softness of the mattress. Thanks for everything tonight, Julia. I don't know how I'd be right now if I were alone. You never have to thank me, Lucy. Her hand rests over yours, giving it a gentle squeeze, and you feel a rush of affection. Pull her close. You take her hand and pull her onto the bed next to you. What's the... The words barely leave her lips before you're kissing her. She hums lightly and tilts her head to deepen the kiss, bringing one hand up to the back of your neck as she takes your bottom lip gently between hers. You nip at her playfully, sink back into the mattress, losing yourself in the moment. Between her kisses and the feeling of her body against yours, your worries seem to fall away. Lucy. Intertwined in the sheets, her warm arms around you, you begin to drift off cozily as she traces you with light kisses. So comfy. You've been through a lot today. Why don't you rest? She pulls the covers over the two of you, wrapping her warm arms around you. You nestle closer to her, feeling overwhelmed by how right it feels being beside her. And soon you fall asleep to the gentle sound of her heartbeat. The next day, after you've returned home from Julia's and your good mood is starting to fade, you get a text from Vivian. Hey, hear about season 2? Not after I got fired. LOL. You're joking, right? No, you must have not got the memo. I wish I were. OMG? I'm so sorry. Can I do anything? Call the press, egg Zara's car, smash up the studio design workshop? We can burn down our office after. That's dark. Love it. I'll bring matches. This is why you're my ride or die. But really, I'll be okay. You don't need to do it alone. Let's meet. I know the perfect place. Very mysterious. Look, it's cats. Soon after you go Eco Park to meet up with Vivian and Hudson in an adorable cat cafe. Is this a bad time to tell you I'm allergic to cats? You'll be fine. You're what? Kidding. This was thoughtful, thanks Vivian. I am, but plenty of pills and whatnot keep me sane and keep my fluffy buddies in my life. It's the best kind of therapy, aside from thrift shopping for decor. I'm sorry to hear about the news, Lucy. It's freaking wild Zara would do that. But I want you to know me, Viv, and the rest of the builder buddies, we're all here for you. Thanks, Hudson. Oh, look, they have our British short hair. What a cute little fella. Vivian pulls you aside as Hudson goes off happily petting and playing with the different cats. How are you really holding up, really? What's the plan? No, I'm sticking with we're burning down our office later. I think I should present my case to Zara as how to be useful. You already did that. Get Everett or Julia to advocate for me. Let it be. Just accept it. I can't look backwards. I'll rest this weekend and then it's job apps and cover letters for me. Got it. The grind begins. I'm proud to say I know the most aesthetically pleasing cafes in LA that would be great to work from. I knew you'd be the just person to ask. But first, let's enjoy this day. You turn to face the furry friends around you. Who's your cute boy? It's a horrible Photoshop, though. Black cat. This one's even cuter. I love you, you do. What problems? British short hair. I don't have any problems. Feeling better? No, I need about 27 cats all just stacked on top of me. Just let the allergies overtake me. Just let me die that way. Getting there. You return home and start to settle in. When you can't die by death by snoo-snoo, you might as well just die by cat. When you hear a sudden banging on your door. What the hell? What now? You swing open the door and see Everett, frozen mid-nog. There you are. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I just heard what happened from Zara. You grimace and head back into your apartment, leaving the door wide open for Everett. You collapse on the couch because he starts pacing back and forth, rubbing the back of his neck. I don't know what the hell she was thinking. You've been incredible on this show. After everything she's done to mess with it, she has the audacity to blame you for anything. Everett. She's not gonna get away with this. I got leverage, She'll regret pulling this crap. Everett. It's sweet that you care. I don't mind your anger when it's working in my favor. Good, because there's more where that came from, believe me. Everett takes a deep breath, pausing from his pacing to inspect you. I'm sorry, I'm all worked up because of Zara, you okay? Hanging in there. You don't have to worry about me. Yes, I do, I'm invested. He clears his throat and looks away. You think he might even be flushed. Oh, he cares. But I don't want to do this here. Take a drive with me. Where? You'll see. When you're on the road, your mind is clear. It might just be what you need, and I have something I want to tell you. Is that right? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Alright, you convinced me. Especially with the singing. Then let's get the hell out of here. Minutes later, you're buckled your seatbelts as Everett starts up his sports car. This is nice, but I didn't take you for the muscle car type. Everett coughs uncomfortably, pulling out onto the highway. I'm not really. My publicist at the time thought I would fit my persona better. Oh, I see. I resisted for a while. I liked my old rust bucket, but I came around in the end. Paprika and I have been through a lot together. Plus, she goes fast. You named your car Paprika? Yeah, no, this is the question I just asked. Your car's named Paprika? Keep talking and I'm kicking you out at the nearest exit. You laugh, easing back in your seat. Everett gives you a sidelong glance. Feeling better yet? No, because you're not at 200 miles an hour yet, weaving through traffic. What? Sorry. Honestly, it's... nice to know I have friends on my side. I thought this would be something I'd have to face alone. I guess I didn't expect so many people to care. You make it easy, too. You turn to Everett and see that he's deliberately keeping his gaze on the road. You can't help but smile. The city passes by in a blur, and soon Everett pulls out onto the coastline highway. With the ocean on one side and the cliffs on the other, you feel like you're hurtling towards something significant. I get what you mean when you said being on the road clears your head. You're leaving your worries in the dust. If the metaphor fits, it fits. Like a cat in a box. You come to a stoplight and a few other sports cars pull up beside you. The young driver laughs, revving their engines and whistling for Everett's attention. Yo, show us what you got. Let's that car is all for show. Everett scoffs. Rubes. How typical. They rev their engines again, goading you and Everett. They want to race. Should we do it? You look back startled as Everett throws you a mischievous grin. I think we should race him. Everett smirks back at you and revs his engine. When the lights turn, the car takes off, keeping pace with the speedsters beside you. We're going for it. You press back in your seat, and as you pick up speed, the trees and beach zooming by in a blur. You laugh, feeling wild as the other cars speed up even more, leaving you and Everett behind. Put own life in jeopardy for a day. Check. Let's do it again. Everett shakes his head and slows down, traces of exhilaration still on his face. The things I do for you. You enjoyed it. You continue up the highway, treated to the side of the sun, sinking into the sea. Everett pulls off into a side road, following a line of cars to a drive-in theater. These places still exist? Yes. Sure, just gotta know where to look. Do you come here often? Only for special occasions. You grin as your eyes meet, but Everett quickly looks away. Everett parks near the back of the drive-in and quickly grabs some popcorn and sodas for you. I miss this. Seriously, if you have never experienced a drive-in, if they're done properly, it's like a really cool experience. It really is. Buttery popcorn, nothing beats it. You tune the car radio to the right station, and you settle in for the movie. Today's been fun. A joyride in a movie. It's almost the perfect date. Almost. I used to do outings like this more often. With, Nazim? He nods. It's what drew Nazim and I together. We were all about chasing a thrill. That's hard to sustain in a relationship. No, it's not. Yeah, we never quite figured out the other parts once the spark wore off. Instead of talking, we'd go out and party, or we'd fight. Sounds toxic. It was. We thought chasing that first spark would plaster all over the cracks. I hope that's not what you think about today. Not at all. I'm not that person anymore. Besides, we find a good balance together. The two of you grow silent, focused on the movie. Later, when the heroine starts making an impassioned speech about the fears and joys of falling in love, Everett shifts in a seat, taking a deep breath and facing you. I need to say something. To get this off my chest. I meant everything I said at the rap party about being over Nazim. And about being glad we met? Everett nods as eyes taking on an intent glint. The past few weeks made me realize something. I want to keep getting better. For you. For me? I want to repay what you've done for me. Nothing gets past you, and you don't let me get away with anything. And that's good? It's everything. I realized these past few months that I needed someone to challenge me, to hold me accountable. Maybe everyone else was just afraid to do it. Wow, I feel that. You don't make it easy for people. No, but you're still here. Point is, meeting you is probably the best thing that ever happened to me, and I've never felt closer to anyone than I do to you right now. What are you saying? That I love you, Lucy. Does this mean we're gonna be in a relationship? Question mark? I mean, I like how it's I love you and then it's I'm really glad we're friends, bro. Bro. Oh. Yeah, no, that would I would feel for Everett. And I actually do feel for a lot of people that end up encountering that. Everett stares at you like your words aren't registering. What? I said I love you too? Everett reaches over and grabs your hand, his eyes shining. Both of us are going through a lot right now, but this is one thing I know for sure. Your passion, your fire, your kindness. I'm so much happier being around you, the real you. Everett casts a soft smile over to you. So am I. You look back at Everett, your eyes tracing the angles of his face. In the blue light of the theater, he looks ethereal. I like when you look at me like that. Like you want me to. With those words out in the open, the atmosphere feels heavy, and then it's then that you realize how much you both are leaning towards one another. His gaze flickers from your eyes to your mouth, and you find yourself leaning in even more. You move suddenly, knocking your popcorn to the car floor. How fucking dare you? As you cross the midline of the car, Everett's eyes are wide as you straddle him in the driver's seat, bringing your faces close. Lucy. Kiss me. His lips crash into yours, pulling a moan from your throat. His hands grip your hips, holding you steady as he bites gently on your lower lip. God, do that again. He does, and you find yourself dizzy from the intensity of it. Soon your kiss is slow, well aware of where you are and how many people are around you. That are probably doing the same, if not worse. Now shut up. You're something else, Lucy. You pull away, watching as Everett settles back into a seat and wipes away the fog on the windshield. Next time we gotta find somewhere more private. Literally, the fog would have saved you. Anyway. Hey, Locum, how do you know such things? Everett chuckles, still trying to catch his breath as he leans in for one last kiss, and then one more. Later, when the movie's credits start rolling, the cars around you start pulling away for the exit. Ready to head back? Yeah, guess we'd better. You slip back in your seat, waiting for Everett to start the car again. Thanks for tonight. If I had to spend any more time moping in my apartment, I think I would have lost it. You don't need to thank me. It returns to you the low light from the screen, illuminating his features. I'll take care of this, Lucy. This mess with Zara. You trust me to do that, right? I do. And you're surprised to realize you truly mean it. The next day, you get a text from Everett telling you to meet him at Zara's office ASAP. You find him waiting for you outside the doorway. Got your message. Why did Zara want to meet us? She didn't. I call this meeting. Wait. You don't mean... Oh, Lord. Before you can finish your question, he barges into the office and you follow, seeing Zara jump to her feet behind her desk. Do you know how to knock? Don't you know how not to be a beach? Her eyes narrow when she spots you. And what's she doing here? We're here to cut a deal. You still want me to go on Anton's show? Fine, you got it. Everett? But it's gonna be on my terms, and I'm not gonna deliberately sabotage myself. Lucy will join me in front of the cameras as my sous chef. Really? What? And you'll give Lucy her job back if she still wants it. Or what? Or I don't compete. I leave the show. You remember I negotiated for a 1-season contract with a renewal option? I don't have to come back. It's up to you. Zora looks stricken. Your head is spinning whenever it looks back at you with a decisive nod. You really meant what you said yesterday? Of course I did. How about this? Lucy gets her job back on the show, but only if the two of you win the competition and beat Anton. Oh, that won't be a problem. Everett turns to you, triumphant. Looks like we're headed to Paris.
Yay.
Yeah. We haven't learned anything in the recipe area, though, so I'm guessing we still have more ahead of us. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, you know what to do. So yeah. Hopefully you did enjoy the content that I cover. So yeah, I know. We took a break from this book. We've had a lot going on. Clearly, I personally have had a lot going on in my personal life. We're catching up. We've been doing a lot of RC, we've been doing a lot of choices, we've been doing a lot of other content, and I'm finally catching up. So again, hopefully you're enjoying this content. Let me know if you want more. I know I've got to catch up on the other book that has been cast to the side as well. Don't worry, it's eventually going to be coming. Aside from that, yeah, no. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Otherwise, catch y'all later. Peace out.